Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Thomas. Tonight, we're back here with the Kill Count. Tonight, well, we got an interesting film because this one's called Blacula from 1972. So, if I remember correctly, this is a blaxploitation film with a black guy as a vampire. Yeah, you know, kind of like Bones, in a way. You'll see more of it as we, get into Blacula. So, how about we just hop in and have some fun? So, let's see if this thing ups the body count from Dracula. So be sure to like, subscribe for more. Hope you guys enjoy it. Let's check it out.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at Blacula, released in 1972. Blacula, as you probably guessed, is a black take on Dracula. Directed by William Crane, starring William Marshall in the titular role, Blacula is the first ever horror blaxploitation film. Blaxploitation is a genre that proliferated in the 70s, fueled by the success of Shaft and Sweet Sweetback's Badass Song. These films featured casts of mostly black actors and were targeted towards black audiences, who were happy to finally see themselves as strong leading protagonists. The movies often featured over-the-top violence, nudity, and drug use, which is where the exploitation part of blaxploitation comes from. But they also often dealt with black empowerment, and their success, which included white audiences, showed how race relations were changing in America. The term blaxploitation was coined by an NAACP president who said the genre perpetuated black stereotypes. Perhaps that's true, but it also gave black artists some control. For instance, with Blacula, where director Crane and star Marshall took creative control from the studio that hired them, American International Pictures. Crane said they changed it from a quote, shuckin' and jivin' movie into something more serious. Marshall drove a lot of that, making sure he came across as dignified and changing his character's name from Andrew Brown to Mamuwalde.
He wasn't going to be Count Brown Clown. That's all there was to it. I was for him 100%.
Blacula was made at a time when horror was in a transition from the classic monsters who had been around for decades to more realistic and modern fears, like Last House on the Left and De Palma's Sisters. It's a really fun time capsule of the 70s, shot on location in Watts and elsewhere in Los Angeles. I love it when a movie shows a snapshot of a city in time. It's a fun police procedural take on the classic vampire tale, with a lot of funny moments and fantastic performances from all the leads. Though you can often feel its low budget, and some scenes spin their wheels in the second half, Blacula is an essential historical film that's so much more than its campy title. When Blacula came out, Dracula would have been as old as Raiders of the Lost Ark is to us now. Feel old yet? Great, let's get to the kills.
Damn, I do feel old in a way. Like, not in the sense that I actually seen Blacula, like I said, in 1996, so... Oof. Man. That's the same year? God. Oh boy. I mean... Well, if you've seen this one, prepare to wear your age on your sleeves, because this is gonna be interesting. Whew. So... let's see how many bodies Blacula gets. Let's check it out. I got nothing else.
The movie begins in 1780 at the Transylvanian home of the Drac Man himself. He's hosting Prince Mamuwalde from the Abani tribe in Africa, or as Dracula calls it,
the dark continent.
Mamuwalde and his wife Luva are here to try to stop the slave trade. Dracula's not on board.
Slavery has merit, I believe.
Merit? You find merit in barbarity?
Musketeer motherfucker really defends slavery while hitting on Mamuwalde's wife in front of him.
I would willingly pay for so beautiful an addition to my household as your delicious wife.
Sir, you're okay, I'm not busting a cap on you.
The slave trade conversation was something Williams, Crane, and Marshall had to fight to include in the movie.
Was there much resistance at that time to do this?
Absolutely.
What did they say to you? What kinds of things were said to you?
I don't think that will work. We don't want to deal with the
They were just trying to avoid the uncomfortable topic,
we
weren't
didn't
they?
want to either. Had to.
It's true.
And I think that it hasn't been dealt with properly. This is a wonderful time
Marshall.
to illustrate that there were African people who were concerned.
I love William Marshall's performance. He absolutely owns the screen. The then 51-year-old had weathered through his career despite being blacklisted for supposedly supporting communism. His 6'5" stature and bass voice give him a commanding presence. And after reprising Blacula for the next year's sequel, Scream Blacula Scream, he'd go on to be the king of cartoons on Pee-wee's Playhouse, an amazing show.
Let the cartoon begin!
Marshall immediately shows that Mamuwalde is a distinguished man.
Sir, I suddenly find your cognac as
distasteful as your manner.
And I can't help but wonder if his poise gave some white audiences cover to enjoy this movie. Dracula calls in his men, who get their asses whooped by Mamu Dubs, even though they got scimitars and shit. But the numbers eventually overwhelm him, and he and Luva are captured by Drac and his dreadful-looking ladies. Seriously, that one looks like Sigmund the Sea Monster. They hold...
Yeah, that's a... Oops. I wonder if they were, like, going there to see, like, oh, hey, is it gonna help us stop the slave trade? It was like, no, we need them. I'd probably have been like, okay, time to kill a vampire. Or something like that. I don't know if they knew he was a vampire, but I'd probably be, like, packing a gun just in case. Like, I don't know. Like, you never know how far people will go to defend the slavery. Like, we've seen that during the Civil War. Like, you know, John Brown's, extra history. Like, you saw how far the people can go. Anyway, so Prince Mahawade, all days down.
Mamuwalde down, and his neck is bitten by the Count and the camera. Dracula curses him with eternal life and a titular role.
Blacula!
He's imprisoned in a coffin where he'll forever hunger for blood, while Luva is condemned to die in prison listening to the cries of her prince. The opening credits are funkalicious, with awesome art and music that was a staple in blaxploitation films. I love the clumsy vampire there for a fun bit of slapstickula. Yo, wait, is that bat fucking that blood girl though? My white ass was first exposed to this style in the intro to Beavis and Butthead Do America, where Isaac Hayes led an homage to the song he did for Shaft. Almost 200 years later, it's present day, and Dracula's estate is up for sale. It's purchased by Bobby McCoy and Billy Schaefer, who don't believe Count Dracula was an actual man.
Oh, I know. I've seen all of his movies. I'm a real fan. Don't shock the poor man, baby.
I think it's cool that this movie casually has a gay couple, even if they are stereotypical. I mean, blaxploitation's whole alphabet was printed in stereotype. It does lead to some slurs said by cops later on, but I mean, that's sadly how it be, you know? The new owners move everything from the Hungarian castle to Los Angeles. Careful now, don't want to crush any Ted Raimis. They store their haul in the Ark of the Covenant warehouse and examine the coffin holding Blacula's undead body. They crack it open right as Billy cracks open his skin on a crowbar, so it looks like this sleepy Blacula about to have a Billy breakfast burrito. Could use a brush and a shave when he's done eating. Mamuwalde attacks them and bites down hard on Billy's arm, taking in his first meal in nearly 200 years. Oh, Billy! Thanks to Bobby's ineptitude in the face of a bunch of barrels, Blacula gets a secundo to his primo and feasts on this young man as well. He must have found Billy's arm quite humorous, since he laughs his ass back to sleep. The next day, Mamuwalde creeps from behind a curtain and watches as Bobby's wake is attended by some friends, including Tina Williams, who looks familiar to the prince.
Luva.
That's because Vonetta McGee plays both Tina and his Mrs. Luva. Tina and her sister Michelle leave Michelle's partner Gordon Thomas behind. He's a pathologist working for the LAPD and is our Van Helsing equivalent for the film. While these gays were indeed buried, at least their deaths drive the plot, I guess, since Gordon's got a bunch of questions about how Bobby McCoy died.
What about the other victim, his associate? Oh, I didn't prepare that one. He was white, you know. I don't get many whites in here.
I really dig Thalmus Razulala as Gordon. He's smart and determined, though not necessarily universally beloved.
That is the rudest nigga I've ever seen in my life.
Tina's walking home when she remembers that she's in a horror movie, so she ups it to a run that crashes her chest first into Blacula.
Luva?
Huva?
Luva?
No, Yuva. A chase ensues, but the blaring horns are just too damn funky. And they cause Tina to drop her purse. She gets away, but Blacula ends up with all her information. Good get, dude. Now all you have to do is... Oh shit! Oh my god! Dude,
did he actually get hit?
The Krabby Cabbie, Juanita Jones, blames the guy she just ran over.
You're a nut that ran in front of my cab. You're the only imbecile on this street. Boy.
Blacula hates victim blaming, so he turns off his charm and vamps out on Juanita, grabbing her face for a passionate kiss. Or kill. Just a kill. His hunger satiated for now, he goes back to the warehouse to rub on the purse in peace before climbing into his coffin for some Batty Betty bye. The next day, Gordon heads to the city morgue to inspect Juanita's body. The morgue attendant, Sam, blames Juanita for being a woman cab driver.
Ask me, she's looking for something.
Sam, whom Gordon rightfully dismisses, is played by prolific character actor Alicia Cook Jack Jr. His career included a number of horror movies, including William Castle's House on Haunted Hill. Gordon checks Juanita's body and finds on her neck 2 punctures, just like he had seen on Bobby McCoy. What do you think of that, Gordo?
That's ridiculous.
He takes his
Yeah, that's probably been like, oh, I have to keep a note of that for any future ones. That's 2 now, from 3rd. Great problems. Also, yeah, if my corner said something like that, I'm like, boy, you're fine. Get the fuck out. Like, seriously. You can't be doing that when you're a coroner. Care? At least that's what I would do. Each their own if you believe otherwise. Anyway.
Findings to Lieutenant Jack Peters and learns that the case reports for Bobby McCoy have already been lost.
Strange how so many sloppy police jobs involve black victims.
Peters reluctantly offers to help, while also offering an explanation for the crimes.
Been a lot of Panther activity lately.
Panthers? Come on, Jack, don't cop out.
This Black Panther conversation ain't about T'Challa. It is, of course, referring to the Black Power organization. Movies talking about social and political issues is not a new thing. It's always happened. It's part of art, okay? It's Michelle's birthday, so they go to a club where the Hughes Corporation performs. They're great, even if the singers all have different interpretations of the dance moves. Song still rips, though, so hard it causes jump cuts.
So to myself, I say, look the other way.
Blacula was the big break for the Hughes Corporation, who would go on to have a #1 song with Rock the Boat.
Rock the boat, don't rock the boat, baby. Rock the boat, don't tip the boat over.
Mama Walde walks into the club wearing a cape like it's not weird. You'd think part of this movie would be a fish out of water type thing, but never once does Blacula question the modern world in which he's awakened. He summons Tina over to return her purse with dialogue we don't get to hear. Really wish we did, but instead we only hear the Hughes Corporation, which, you know, I guess I get. Still would have loved to know what he says to get her to trust him right away.
Come join my friends.
Mama Walde introduces himself and apologizes to Tina for scaring her the other night. He just couldn't help it.
You bear an amazing resemblance to my wife, whom I lost a short while ago.
Damn, dude, coming on strong. So strong he offers to buy Michelle champagne right in front of Gordon.
That won't be necessary.
What do you mean it's not necessary? I like champagne.
Good, so do I.
Haha, Harkard. He cheers them, but before it freeze frames their sitcom opening, they're joined by this motherfucker.
Hey, what's happening? How's everybody? How you doing, brother? My name is Skillet. Pull up a seat here and get some of this here
Join the party.
I don't know what Skillet's purpose is in this movie, but I love him. Some flash photography scares Mama Walde out of there like a gremlin at Dory's Tavern, prompting another amazing moment for Skillet to kill it.
That is one strange dude.
While waiting for the valet to get his back.
Yeah, honestly, I really did like the whole Hughes Company thing. Now I kind of want to just hear some of their more of their music. Really good. No wonder they got their big break. Good job, guys. Anyway.
Batmobile, Mama Walde makes Tina promise to see him again the next night. Aw, snap, said Nancy, the nightclub photographer. For some reason, Nance needs to develop these photos immediately. So she leaves and goes to the darkroom at her house, which is, wait, right the fuck next to that club? Door? Damn, that walkability score's a straight 100. Only thing better than a short commute is developing photos in a bodysuit and throwing a beer. Ooh boy, it's Lee Miller time. Mama Walde makes his way inside, so right as Nancy notices something missing from her pics,
Where's that big dude with the cape?
she gets a Blacula attacula. Get her, you know what? The Drac and Dracky nicknames don't translate.
Yeah,
here.
watch
Anyway,
out.
he bites her neck and steals her photo, and Nancy dies after stumbling out onto her porch, where she's found by a cop named Officer Barnes.
Do you live here?
No, dumbass, she stole it. Nancy doesn't fancy being dead for long and returns to bite him in the neck.
Bye, Barnes.
Noble death for Barnes. Just a clarification, I count turning into a vampire as a kill, since it is the end of someone's mortal life. It's still a death, even if they then become undead and start moving around, such as the case with Bobby McCoy, whose body is now missing from Sims's funeral home. Gordon's already thinking vampires, and to dig deeper, he asks if he can literally dig deeper and exhume Billy Schaefer's body. When he can't get permission to do it, he decides to do it anyway. He gets Michelle to help him, even though she really doesn't want to at first.
Gordon, I'm always with you, right?
Right.
but not this time.
Michelle is played by Michigan's own Denise Nicholas in her feature film debut. She was already a successful TV actor at the time, in the middle of a string of Golden Globe noms. Gordon and Michelle dig into Billy's grave and uncover his pine box bed. Looks like someone got up on the wrong side of the bed. Gordon acts fast and re-kills Billy by immediately pounding a stake through his chest. Michelle is understandably freaked out by this. But don't worry, baby. Gordon didn't just violently murder a man. That was a vampire. Trust him. He's been reading all about him in this book. They realize the other murder victims will vampify too, like Bobby McCoy, whose body is missing, and Juanita Jones, whose body is still at the morgue. While Gordon is dropping off Michelle on Freshwater Road and picking up Lieutenant Peters, Juanita thaws out and attacks Sam the morgue guy in an iconic and terrifying shot.
I don't know why. She kind of had like the pose of like,
get a little crazy. Mama Walde visits Tina at her apartment, wearing the same old dusty cape she saw him in the night before. All right, Mamu, you came on a little strong last night. Try to take it down a notch?
He's gonna blow it again.
You are my wife.
Maybe next time. Tina's actually open to the idea that she's a reincarnated princess, so Mama Walde asks her if she'll pretty please be his widow princess again. She's gotta want it though.
I will not take you by force.
He doesn't have to. She's into it. If only because she hasn't seen his facial hair when he vamps out. They make love, Mama Walde with half a shirt on, but with the night growing long, he's gotta get back to bed or suffer the sun. Gordon and Peters arrive at the morgue. I guess Juanita put herself back under a sheet, Valentine style, because that's where she attacks from until a silver cross keeps her at bay. Gordon then flips open the shades and the rising sun kills the vampire cabbie. Uber would have killed her eventually anyway. Gordon and Peters strategize and draw just the prettiest picture of a vampire. They know they've got an undead problem, but they don't know who the original vampire could be. Couldn't be that dude who wears a cape and came the fuck out of nowhere, right y'all? Gordon does begin to grill Mama Walde on their next night out. He does so with a bit more tact than Michelle.
What do you think of vampires?
The verbal dance the guys engage in is evocative of Lugosi and Van Sloan. Literally, they reference one of Van Helsing's lines.
However, many in the department don't believe it.
Now, I would think that to be the vampire's greatest defense.
The strength of the vampire is that people will not believe in him.
It's a great back and forth that couldn't possibly get any better.
What's happening, everybody? What's going on?
Skillet, oh, never mind, fucking Skillet's back! But even though Mama Walde just woke up, he's not in the mood for a breakfast skillet. So he and Tina take off to go suck face and or blood. Skillet mentions that he hasn't seen Nancy the photographer lately, but if they do, could they please pass on a message?
Tell Nancy that Big Skillet has got something really groovy for her.
Ha, Skillet. You scamp. Gordon checks out Nancy's place and sees the negative of her photo with the invisible man. Oh, wait, no, that's the other guy. The confusion gets to Gordon too, but after he has a think on it, he figures things out.
Mama Walde.
Tina's with that guy, so she's in danger, and that means it's time to get 70s up in this bitch. Tina and Mama Walde are tonsil boxing when Gordon busts in and breaks up the bout. Blacula backslaps him down and makes a run for it on foot. Gordon declares, "I'm gonna get you, sucker!" And a chase scene starts, scored by a screaming saxophone. Mama Walde laughs as he approaches and quickly kills a cop by breaking his neck or something. As Mama Walde gets away, other cops report that they found the undead body of Bobby McCoy. They track him to the warehouse at the LA docks where Bobby and Billy's bodies were found and where Blacula's been living in his coffin bed. Their initial search reveals a new body to go on the count, a dude who could be seen getting picked up by Bobby on the street. Further searching reveals a whole shit ton of vampires. The cops get freaked out and a fight ensues, during which one cop gets tackled through some boxes. With Gordon and Peters unable to help, the cop is consumed by a mob of Stephanie Meyer's fans. Gordon and Peters find, I don't know, lamps that turn into straight up firebombs for them to toss, and toss them they do. Just chucking that shit all over the place. It lights up Bobby and a couple of other vampires that'll count as kills, including Nancy the photographer. The cop who got swarmed also comes back extra fast, and though Peters hesitates to light him up, Gordon emphatically does not. Gets him burning and turning in an extended fire stunt. Hell yeah! Gordon then leaps on another vampire and stakes the hell out of his heart. Damn, man, we got a regular Jefferson Twilight up in here. They run on to try to find Mummy Waldo, who finds them with a classic count greeting.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Mama Walde tells them to fuck off and turns into a bat, in a simple effect, but you know, one that works. It's good enough for Peters to believe what he saw. Gordon and Michelle tell Tina that Mama Walde's a bad vampire, but she says she's just too thirsty for him to care. Listen, Tina, I know he's hot, but you can't be team vampire here. They set up a stakeout around her building with ineffective cops on bullhorns.
your home. Please go to your home.
Are you too good for your homes? Mamuwalde finishes his Batman-esque night patrol by turning into a bat and calling to Tina, who was busy in the bedroom feeling herself up. Wow, Tina's just like her namesake Mina. In other words, totally dignitized. Eventually, cops see her and report her location, an underground chemical plant. Okay, weird setting for the end of a vampire movie, but we'll take it. She gets downstairs and Mamuwalde steps out from the shadows to greet her. And you know how them vampires greet people, with a cape hug and a kiss. As the cops filter into Axis Chemicals, our Batman resorts to sneaking around and murdering a cop in total stealth mode. Nice sneak strike, dude. As he and Tina are running down a tunnel, some dude opens fire with remarkably bad form. He hits Tina instead of Mamuwalde, and with his love taken down, Blacula quickly kills the cop in revenge. Since Tina/Luva is about to die, Mamuwalde sees no other option than to take this life away from her, draining her blood and turning Tina into a vampire. He yells out to Gordon and the cops that he's about to murder motherfucking all of them.
This will be your employer's tomb. Your tomb. Your tomb. Your tomb.
Your tomb! Your tomb! Another dimension. These dudes look scared, and rightfully so. Let the carnage begin! Blacula kills one guy by jump cutting him onto a circuit board. Alright. He then absorbs some bullets being shot into his torso before throwing this T-1000 off a walkway, and there was no molten steel pit to catch him. Blacula throws this one dude at two other cops, pulling them down the stairs, and fucking chucks a couple of barrels at this other dude below him. I don't think any of those are kills though. They're just funny. Gordon and Peters find the coffin and prepare to do what they've got to do. Gordon will open, Peters will stab. 1, 2.
Wait, check!
Ah, shit. It was the vampirified Tina, who now dies from a big old stake through her heart, while her poor sister Michelle watches. Damn, Mamuwalde shows up, pissed at losing his princess again. His heartbreak is so great, he doesn't even want revenge anymore. Instead, he accepts defeat and tells the cops he's done fighting. He steadily climbs a flight of stairs leading to the day above ground. I like the shots as the sun beams down on him, causing him to reel sideways. He finally collapses on the ground, and when the cops find him, he's become an actual maggot head. Eat your heart out, Tommy Jarvis. I know there's a sequel, so I wasn't planning on counting Blacula, but I mean, look at this. That's gotta count as a kill. How many cool cats and cops did Blacula kill? Let's find out and get to the numbers.
I say, look the other way when it come by you. Look the other way when it come by you.
Love that
By my
song.
count, there were 25 kills in Blacula. 12 men, 4 women, 5 undead men, and 4 undead women. Damn, that thing is toothier than a lamprey pie. Blacula secured 10 of the kills for himself, not counting himself. His thralls had another 4, while Count Dracula had 2. Gordon and Peters were responsible for 8. With a runtime of 93 minutes, Blacula had a kill on average every 3.72 minutes. I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to Blacula himself, Prince Mamuwalde. I love the shots of him succumbing to the sun, and the use of stop motion and a bunch of Tan's Academy maggots are a horrific end to this hotty hot vampire. Dull Machete for lamest kill will go to the cop Mamuwalde killed on the street. I don't even really know what happened there. And that's it. Blacula came out in 1972 and won the first ever Saturn Best Horror Film Award. There may be a reboot in the works at MGM. We'll see. Until next time, I'm James A. Janice. This has been the Kill Count. On the next.
There you go. Let me know what you guys think of Blacula. It's actually pretty good. But again, to each their own, as they say. So, until the next one, thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think of Blacula. Definitely earned the Saturn. And until then, adios.